I tinker here. I'm still working on that Suzuki plastics. Yeah, well, if you leave them out in the sun, they're gonna get just tattered up, fractured, cracked, split, all of it. So, done a lot. You know, you can see here. Let's flip them. Got lots of patches done. Little splits here, little splits there. The most common spots. I got wire back, mesh. I got some backing behind it. We've got this. They're not too bad. These I have got. I put steel wool down in there and laid it. It worked out pretty good. So this one is the one I'm working on. So I think it's hopefully one of the last. And it's on the outside, so cosmetically speaking, yeah. So, got my piece of steel wool cut out there. Lay her up on there like that. Now, let's see if we can get you in there. We can see how all these fractures, there you go. You see all these fractures? Now, the back side was split pretty good. So you can see on the inside back there, there's still some of that wire mesh. So when you have a run, you cut it off at the pass, you know. And a lot of these were not, most of these were not through and through on this side. Just this main one. All these were fractures, about to be cracks. So I just cut them all off. So you can see the kind of high points when it melts. You gotta go pretty deep. Let it ooze. You'll flow it back in. And I'm using black, so let's see if we can't get that going. See if we can get that up in there. Ooh, my bad, my bad. Put my knocker off the stand. Oh, that's what it was. All right then. Ooh. All I'm going to use is the gun for right now. It's just an inexpensive Harbor Freight. Get that cap off there. Let go of my cord board. All right. Get on in there. We're gonna tack it. Ooh. Let me cut that out first. I'm pretty anal about that. I am a she leprechaun. We are the luckiest in all the land. If we learn to be. Actually, you don't know this little secret, but the Irish are lucky for others. Little leprechauns. But the she leprechaun, said to be the luckiest in all the land. I'm still alive, so I reckon I fit there. Just split it. It's just steel wool. It's not wire mesh. What I found to be quite beneficial is just, this is very thin metal. Get back over there. And as I warm the whole metal up, the sheet will actually do most of the melting. You can see how it's already stuck. But for some reason, I think this metal likes to snag. I'll have to fix it back down in there. This way it'll heat up a little bit wider area for me. Yeah, it gets warm, trust me. Even back here I feel the heat. I've been blacksmithing about 15 years now. And I'm still never going to learn my lesson not to grab it when it's hot. I don't know why. The hard way, reckon. That's what they say about the she leprechaun. She got to learn her lesson the hard way. This steel wool really carries the heat well. And it actually holds it better than the wire mesh because of course the material. So I'm just kind of pushing her on down in there. Little pressure. So those little high spots that I left in there, that's what it's kind of tacking into, and we're trying to flow it right back into the holes. Of course, it's not going to fill those holes. I'm going to backfill it with a really nice layer of fill material. This is Frankenstein work, so it's going to be black. Get up in there. I don't use the flat as a rule. I don't like it because it just, for some reason, it'll sink and it's hard to keep low. Hard to keep level there. My bad. It doesn't like it. And most of my work I end up using the side anyway. Oop. I'll pull that up. It's just, we'll call it slack. I don't want all that wad in there. I'm feeling the bumps, the high spots underneath. They're dictating for me, so it might look like I don't know what I'm doing on the top, but I'm working on the bottom. I don't want low spots. I have blocks under here because I need to keep it propped up. I mean supported, excuse me, where I have a hollow spot in the bodywork. Ain't flush on the tabletop, so we put some blocks underneath there. When you heat this, if you get not paying attention and you stay in one spot too long, it'll weaken that and cause that area to kind of sag. So I put the support up underneath it. Lesson learned the hard way. Again, I say, get this here over here just a wee bit more and we all be ready. I have more control over this side of the gun. Iron, whatever you want to call it. Potato, potato, when you're in Ireland. I kind of countersunk that back a little bit. I'll take it down. Remember, I'm going to fill it with the black anyway. There we go. I think we're looking pretty right nice. Reckon. Not too shabby for a she leprechaun, huh? if I can see it done, I can do it. A little bit different. I do have a brain injury, so this takes a long, long time before you get brave enough to do a video. It's rehab. I got kicked out of rehab fresh out the brain injury. I cut up a chicken with the Dremel because I couldn't find the bone joint thing they was talking about. And that was probably 25 years ago. They said I wasn't ready for rehab. Yeah, when they said they want you to find that joint and spread this chicken leg and find that bone and put that knife there and cut this here. And that wasn't working too well for me. And I had a Dremel in my backpack with a skill saw blade on it, you know, rotary. So I went and got it, and I cut up the daggum chicken because I got frustrated. Couldn't find a damn bone. By golly, what do I care? Get it off of there. So brain injury people, back then, they was treated as strokes pretty much. We was kicked out of rehab, so I wasn't worthy. So you go back up to the bush in Alaska, the tundra. Do your own damn rehab. Gotta go back to Ireland first, hook back up with Pop. He put that screwdriver in my hand and he said, "Daughter dear," he said, "your brain might bleep, but your hands never forget." He handed me that carburetor from my old Yamaha bike and put a Phillips in my hand. And he was right. He was absolutely 100% right. Now, who'd have done thought? Not the doctors. So you got to kind of deal with your reality. And we had a good, nice Irish meeting. How's that look, folks? I'm kind of content. Hang up my knife and burn it. All right, then. When I'm done with that, let it cool here just a spit. And I'm going to get back into it with a stick. And we're just going to take some stock. And we're going to try and work that down in there. One side to another. I don't want to put a lot on. It's still wool. It's not all in. I mean, it's meshed in there real good. And like I said, I already got a patch on that back side. So what I want to do is start to flow. And then we're just going to work it on out. I want to cover these fibers so we ain't got to worry about no rusting going on. Not the prettiest bead I've laid. And then just kind of drag it where you want it. You don't want it. This has been heated, so of course you're going to have a little low spot. You're just going to try and bring it up about as level and fill it in. I'm countersunk here. Lesson learned on the other side. So I'm going to let it, I'm going to be safe going a little thicker if I want it to. It's already going to be strong. Let that cool off and start working around here. You don't want to heat one big area up too much. It's going to start giving you grief. Now remember, I want to go a little higher right here because it's missing some plastic, you know. I'm going to just fill it up. It's going to be good as new. I'll put this on hold. I'll speed this up. I'll come back with you. It's going to be a while. You get the idea. I'm laying a much larger bead to move it on a little bit. Ooh, shit. Dadgummit. Okay, I save it. That's alright. Give out it's hot, it's plastic. Ain't nothing on this world perfect, so I do like to do my best. Take a lot of practice. A lot of redos. A lot of oh wells, uh-ohs, and oh-nos. Most of the time figuring out how to fix your fuck up. But I'll tell you what. You listen to them elders. They have fucked it up so many daggum times. They by golly know how to do it right. By the time they get old. So you see a middle-aged man come across like he know it all, you run, 'cause he don't. None of us do. Always a trick of the trade to learn from another. But the elders, they hold the wisdom in my book. I gotta watch the back of that knife because I keep getting a back sweep there and I don't really mean to do that. Okay, the patch about done. Got a couple little touch-ups here. Little spots. Stragglers, if you will. Ain't no matter. I mean, just a little bit. I just, like I said, I want the wire covered. Because it can rust. I don't want that. It's kind of windy. Cooling off that gun, you just melt like butter, but that wind cooling it off pretty quick. Right, daggum quick. Feather that on in there. Not too shabby for a she leprechaun, eh? Couple spots. You get the gist. Then when you're done, just kind of, you know, pick around. Feather it in. Make sure she kind of really... Get that red hair out there. Bonded on the edges. You know, I see still... I'll hit these spots, but hey. Not too shabby for a she leprechaun, eh? And there you have it, people. Kind of pretty, I think. Right time. Get this done. So y'all have a blessed day. And I got work to do underway.